Hey, this is Pranav here, and we are back again with another case study. If you're watching this video for the first time, my name is Pranav, and every week I take a case study, a big idea case study, and try to break it down so that you and I we can learn from it and create powerful core messages or powerful big ideas so that we don't have to keep on competing on algorithm, so that we don't have to keep on dancing on TikTok or grabbing attention by using aggressive hooks, and we can just pull in the right audience with a powerful message. So far, we have looked at different experts, consultants, founders, and dissected their big idea. And I'm trying to something new today, which I think is going to be helpful, which is take the example of a big idea from the movie, which is Kung Fu Panda. The reason I think this is going to be interesting is because I think the best way, or one of the best ways in which we can learn the concept of a big idea, is through movies. So let's jump into this. Let's explore the light bulb movement for Poe because our message will be influenced by that light bulb moment. If you remember the moment where Po changes, again, this is, I'm assuming that you have watched the movie Kung Fu Panda. If you have not watched the movie, don't worry, this will still make sense because I'm going to take you behind the scenes a little bit. I'm going to give you an introduction of what the background of that movie is. So just hang on for a bit, and if you have already watched, then I want you to zoom in on the moment where or when Po changes, when he actually realizes that okay, there is something wrong with his strategy, and he should be using a different strategy to beat his enemy, which is Tai Lung, the snow leopard. This moment of revelation is important in any kind of storytelling. This is where the hero who has a specific belief before goes through this transformation, and in this transformation there is a revelation, and after this revelation, after this transformation, the hero has another belief and he approaches the situation differently. Again, like I said, if you have watched the movie and if you don't remember, or if you just have never watched this movie, hang tight. This will make sense because I will be giving you a brief introduction. So, can we zoom in on that particular moment? Because as experts, coaches, and consultants, we are trying to give these light bulb moments to our audience, right? We are trying to change their beliefs. We are trying to sell the premise in which we operate. Because if they don't agree with the light bulb movement, if they don't agree with how you are viewing the world, they wouldn't agree with the product and service that you're selling anyway. So we need to get their buying. We need to give them that light bulb moment. Otherwise, none of this would really work. And so that moment of transformation, it's quite important. Okay, so what do I mean by this moment of transformation? Like I said, there's an existing belief, and then something happens, a transformation happens in the hero, and then because of the transformation, the hero now has a new belief. So what happens in this moment? What is the moment in what is that? Can we zoom in on that one specific moment where the transformation actually happens? Now, let me paint some background with regards to this movie, Kung Fu Panda, and specifically about Po. Po is a regular panda who is working with his father in a, I think it's a noodle shop, and he's living a very ordinary life, and he is idealizing these kung fu warriors. So there's a kung fu temple. Some of the details I might be messing up a little bit, so bear with me and don't crucify me. The gist of it is that there is a kung fu temple, and there are these five great kung fu warriors, and Po is an ordinary guy or an ordinary panda who worships these heroes. Now, some bizarre event happens because of which Po is chosen as the Dragon Warrior. Now, Dragon Warrior is someone who is chosen once in a while, who is extremely powerful, who will save the world from the mightiest villain. So he is like the ultimate protector. And everyone is surprised, including his teacher, including Po. They're surprised because Po has absolutely no background in Kung Fu training. He has never really done any kind of practice. In fact, he's overweight and all the stakes are against him, or none of this is in favor of Po. So he's surprised. Now, in the meantime, there is someone else, like a character named Tai Lung, who is the antagonist, the villain in this story. Tai Lung desperately wants to come to the Kung Fu temple. He wants to have that one very powerful dragon scroll. So there is this thing known as an artifact known as the dragon scroll, and Tai Lung wants to steal that artifact, which creates a lot of pressure for Po because now Po needs to stop Tai Lung. Po needs to defend the world from Tai Lung, and Tai Lung, who is extremely powerful, extremely proficient at Kung Fu, and Po is no one, right? Po has is just an overweight panda. All right. So now how this story will unfold is really the question. During the training, it so happens that Po is training, his teacher is trying to teach him, but nothing seems to work because they do find, some small wins here and there, but beyond that, nothing really seems to work. All the other warriors are really struggling against Tai Lung, and all their hope lies on Po, and Po is really, really struggling. He just cannot get himself to a place where he feels confident of facing Tai Lung, or of fighting Tai Lung. Now, in this place, Po is having a lot of self doubts. He's obviously feeling very low. He's doubting each and everything, and he's just like pushed into a very dark corner. But then something changes. Like I said, there is a scroll that Tai Lung is trying to steal, and Po is desperately trying to defend that scroll. And eventually, Tai Lung actually finds the scroll, and he opens the scroll only to see that it's completely blank, which is extremely puzzling for everyone. Why is the most powerful weapon blank? Shouldn't there be like some kind of a secret, some magic formula, some mantra which will make you all powerful? No, but it's actually blank. It's so blank that you can just see your own reflection and you cannot see anything else. So this one event happens. The second event that happens is that Po is having a conversation with his father. And his father has always said that he has this one very secret noodle recipe. He has this one secret ingredient which he adds to the soup. Because of his the noodle soup, it becomes extremely tasty. And he refuses to give away that ingredient. He says that no, at no cost will I be able to share this secret ingredient with you. But when Po is pushed against the wall, when Po has this conversation with his father, the father says that, you know what, Po, there is no secret ingredient. I always, in a way, lied to you. There is no secret ingredient. Now, because of these two events, something happens, which is the realization. There is no secret ingredient, and then it hits Po. Poe's heart is now open because he is extremely vulnerable, he's struggling, and he realizes I'm trying to fight myself. I'm trying to become someone I'm not. I'm trying to become this stereotypical dragon warrior. And in the process, I'm not accepting my own strengths. I'm trying to be someone, and I feel if only if I become someone will I be able to defeat the villain or defeat Thailand. So this is the powerful realization that Poe has, that oh, I need to approach this completely differently. I am operating on the wrong belief, and this is the belief that the situation changes for Poe. Now this moment of transformation is extremely important because that's what we want, right? We want to create these moments of transformation for our audience. So what happens in that particular moment? What exactly made Poe change, and how can you and I share a message that brings about such a change in the audience? Because like I said, we crave these moments of transformation. We want to change our audience. We want them to have a new belief. So how can we do that? Yeah, the takeaway is cognitive dissonance. You can look up the technical definition, but the way I would put it is that cognitive dissonance is essentially the existence of two contradictory beliefs, two opposite beliefs which create tension. And the point that I'm trying to make here is that it's the cognitive dissonance, is the tension that is being created, which forces Poe to change because Poe cannot hold two beliefs, two opposite beliefs simultaneously, and Poe needs to change. So the conflict is being created where the two beliefs are in disagreement with each other. The first belief that Poe has always had is that okay, I need to be someone else. I need to be powerful. I need to be like those other five warriors, and only if I train as hard as them, only if I become like them, do I have any chance of success. That is the belief that he has been holding for quite some time, and that is the belief that has not served him. Remember, he is struggling, because of which he is now already questioning that belief. During this particular struggle, or now he's forced to accept a new belief because of the two events that I just shared with you, the blank scroll and no secret ingredient, which is when it hits him that, oh, I just need to accept myself. I'm operating from a place of insufficiency, or I'm operating from a place of not being enough, and I need to be enough. I need to accept who I am. Only then can I use my strengths to actually defeat Tai Lung, the snow leopard. So how does this apply for experts and consultants, right? What does this mean? The main moral of the story is that we need to intentionally create this cognitive dissonance. We need to create this conflict within our audience that who believe a particular thing, and now our job is to show up and challenge that particular belief and actually create cognitive dissonance. I don't know, as hard or as brutal as it sounds, or as dark as it sounds, that's what we need to do. We need to artificially, or we need to intentionally create tension. So if I had to take the example of Jonathan Stark, who has a very compelling big idea of hourly billing is nuts, how will that look like for him? Well, his audience has always had the belief that okay, hourly billing is the only acceptable way of growing my business because that's what we have been doing. That's what the whole world does. They sort of subconsciously accept that okay, if I need to be successful, I need to increase my hourly rates. That is the only way to grow. But Jonathan shows up and creates this conflict because he says, no, 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 that is nuts. And you have to go for value pricing. Now I cannot hold both of these beliefs together. I need to choose. Either I keep saying that, okay, I'll keep doing hourly billing. Now it has served, if it has served me well, I'll keep doing it because I don't feel the need to change. I don't like value pricing. I don't think hourly billing is nuts. I'll keep doing it. But like Poe, if you have been struggling with hourly billing, then this problem resonates hard, right? Then you're like, no, 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 no. I'm operating under this belief, and this belief has not served me well, because of which I need to change it. I'm finally opening up to belief too. So, and now I cannot hold on to both of those beliefs simultaneously, because of which I need to scratch out belief one and commit to belief two. If Jonathan's marketing is being done well, if Jonathan's marketing fails, then they will discard belief two and continue with belief one, and they'll continue to grow their business only through hourly billing. If I had to take the example of Liam Curley, who helps experts and consultants create demand for their expertise, you might say that the belief that he's challenging is that, okay, selling my soul for the algorithms was the only way to grow my authority. That is what they've already believed, that, okay, I need to write more aggressive hooks on LinkedIn, or I need to be on Twitter, or I need to have these aggressive thumbnails. But he comes up and says, no, 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 no. You don't need to do any of that. What you need to do instead is you need to have disruptive wisdom to stand out and create demand for your expertise. Again, if I've been struggling, if I feel uncomfortable selling my soul, I'm going to be open to this new belief and use disruptive wisdom to stand out and create demand is something that I'm opening my heart to, opening my mind to. I need to discard belief one. I cannot deal with this tension, with this conflict, with this cognitive dissonance, because of which I need to discard belief two. If I take the example of Kim Scott, the author of Radical Candor, she might say, as a manager, the existing belief is, as a manager, I can either be nice to others or I have to be harsh and give blunt feedback. So you have to make a choice between these two. You either be nice or you give harsh feedback. There is no midway. But she shows up and she challenges this belief and she creates conflict, and she says the most effective feedback directly challenges, but with kindness and care. So those are not two separate things, but you can do them together. What is the takeaway from all of this? The takeaway from all of this is that you need to ask yourself the question, how do I intentionally create cognitive dissonance for my audience? How can I create an atmosphere where their existing belief is challenged? What is their existing belief? How do I show up with my new belief? And how do I challenge it? That is really the moral of this story. Thank you.